Welcome everyone to an awesome game between Frozen as Grand Cathay going up against the powerful forces of the Ogre Kingdoms. So for the Ogre forces here in the front, starting here with the Gorgers. Going to be out in the left in the trees. The big monstrous infantry here with anti-infantry armor piercing stats, backed up by Frenzy, Unbreakable, Stalk and Vanguard deployment, making them extremely powerful for 1,100 gold. So for the Lord Choice, the man with the big cauldron, we are going to have Scrag the Slaughterer. He's going to have the Cauldron of the Great Maw, giving healing here for Gorgers, as well as Blood Gruel, which is a fantastic lore passive, the Troll Guts, Bone Crusher, and extra ingredients. In the front, we are going to have the double hunters here on Stonehorns. The big boys in the front going to be leading the charge with the anti-large armor-piercing missiles, as well here as the Knoblath the Stone, giving 15% war save, plus Stalk and Unspottable, alongside the ability of Loner, giving them a speed and leadership buff when they are on their own with nothing within a 30-meter radius. So for the front line of Grand Cathay, in the sky, we are going to have the double Great Longmar Riders, just fantastic tools indeed, backed up by the Longmar Ridering Lord of Yin. So we are going to have the Jade Amulet, the Arcane Conduit, as well as the Ancestral Warriors, Missile Mirror, the Storm of the Shadows, and Scales of the Celestial Court. So for the front line, we are going to have 3 units of the Jade Warriors. They are going to be getting their buff to their armor, thanks to the ability of the defensive stance. We are going to have 1 unit of the Jade Warrior crossbow shields in the back, just to, kind of increase that DPS. So both sides are coming forward. It looks like we are going to move into the trees with the Great Longmar Riders. Perhaps don't want too many shots coming from the Hunters, as they'll delete models here from the Great Cavalry Riders. So this is a really nice map here for both sides. Grand Cannons as well as Iron Blasters can really dominate the map. There's mass open space. From Grand Cathay, they can really look after Domination Point 1 and Point 2 here from their spawn, and the same from Point 2 to Point 3 for the forces of the Ogre Kingdoms. So a bit of a skip on, we do move forward here with the double hunters. Looks like they're going to try and pressure the back, and we do have a gorgeous summon of the Grand Cannon in the trees, which means even if we do push with the hunter, that actually has Missile Mirror activated on it, so any missiles will do damage on itself, but it is engaged in melee combat. But if we do move into the trees with the big monsters, they're going to be taking debuffs, which is quite nice. So they're going to be fighting in combat here, getting pinned in place so we can shoot with the Grand Cannons and really rip down and bring these to size. On the point, we are going to have Scrag ready to go. He will have Troll Guts, so we can get some beautiful healing indeed. The Great Longmar Riders are going to charge in here to get some mass and really put these boys in place to get those big shots in from the crossbows and those cannons. So the Storm of the Shadows upgraded, given that increased duration on the slowdown. And then we are going to see Bone Crusher doing some good damage up against the Great Longmar Riders. Over towards Domination Point 1, we have 1 minute before it opens, but we do move forward with some Jade Warriors and some crossbow shields. That should be enough there to take on any of the Ogre infantry. In the middle, the double hunters are starting to struggle, and look at the destruction on the Jade Warriors. We have a summon of the lead belchers in the back, and those cannons will do devastating damage up against heavily armored expensive infantry. So the Longbow Riders are still pinning in place. We are going to be shooting in the back here with the Iron Hail Gunners. And these lovely ladies with the armor-piercing shotguns going to be moving into position and just firing into the flanks of the Hunters. Pinned in place is going to be Scrag. He's going to be using Troll Guts on himself. He looks rather healthy to be using that spell. That's a hell of a lot of healing there on one man that's at full health. In the middle, we do get a summon of the Ancestral Warriors, and these lovely guys indeed are absolutely fantastic. Not only do they look insane, I love their design, but they come here with mass physical resistance. 75% indeed for these big bad boys will make them very difficult for the Ogre Kingdoms to deal with. They don't have too much in the way of magic damage outside of spells, so taking them down can prove to be quite difficult. So they're going to be fighting up against Scrag, and he'll get dragged down pretty quickly here. These bad boys, anti-large armor piercing, they're pretty much going to mirror the stats there from the Jade Warrior Halberds. So it's like 2 units now of the lead belchers are on the field. Gorgers moving into the middle. They'll be backing up here up against Scrag the Slaughterer. What do we have? So we have another debuff slow here on the Hunter as he goes to fight up against the Iron Hail Gunners. Charging down is going to be the Great Longmar Riders, and we are going to be capturing Domination Point 2 here as the Ogre Kingdoms. Point 1 has been taken as Grand Cathay, but Point 3 is going to be open. Just one of the Knoblar Trappers could move forward and do all the good work. So double lead belchers now backed up by the Iron Blast. I don't need to say much about this thing. 1.5k of missile strength with armor sundering, armor piercing, and fantastic mobility makes this thing incredibly powerful on the battlefield. Another summon of the Grand Cannon backed up here by Peasant Long Spearman. That's going to be giving the Yin Yang bonus, which will actually be giving reload skill. So that's going to be really helping here get more of those missiles out at a much increased pace. I love the animations here in the middle of Scrag when he just spins around that cauldron, ripping infantry left, right, and centre. He's a very, very good model indeed. And the Jade Warriors, they've had enough, and I don't blame them. Fighting up against the big, hungry boys is certainly a big challenge. So shooting into the backside here of the Hunter, he's going to be running away, and he's not too healthy. 1,180 health, which is, you know, going to be about 10% of his original. Should hopefully get a Troll Guts here. So we do get a Troll Guts. That's going to be 0.8 for about 29 seconds. So, you know, you could expect some very, very good healing indeed. So we are going to keep chasing here with the Great Longbow Riders. If we do break him, we can then push him off the battlefield. But they're going to be in and around the lead belchers. This could be some close range combat. No, we are going to go into melee combat here. And then maybe try and see if we can fight those Longbow Riders. They're going to be doing the work here up against that Hunter. They don't quite have the armor piercing. But, you know, they have the might of the dragon to bring them through. And then hopefully let's succeed here. The Dragon-Blooded Lord is going to be fighting in hand-to-hand up against the Lead Belchers. So they're trying to shoot the Lord in the sky. They are going to suffer, but the cannons now are going to be targeting the Lead Belchers. And this is excellent play. Get forward with the infantry and then hold the domination points here with the Lead Belchers. They have good range. They don't need to get forward into the fight, but this is going to prove to be a big problem. We have the second Ancestral Warriors, and they're going to be summoning an extra unit of the Jade Warrior Halberd. So loads of halberds for the anti-large and armor piercing coming forward to really reach into the front line. Domination point 1 is still going to be in the favour here of Grand Cathay, but domination point 3... it's a little bit open. There's a bit of a mistake here from the Ogre Kingdoms. They're going to charge forward with Ogre Balls. Just one cheap investment would have captured this. Either side could collapse on that at any moment, but looks like it's not going to be taken here. In the sky, the Great Longmar Riders are going to be ready to go, but Froston's done some nice work. We are going to move forward with Peasant Long Spearmen. We are going to get some halberds in there, and the Ironhelm Gunners are ready to go. They're super cheap, really cheerful, and they're going to be bringing in a bucket load of armor piercing, which is always what you want, and it's always very nice indeed. Jade Warriors are going to get pushed away here by Scrag and the Ogre Balls, but they're going to be getting shot in by the Jade Warrior crossbow shields. Now, I certainly want to move around with the Jade Warriors and then start dropping back here, but it looks like we are going to get the slow. So trying to see if we do as much damage as we possibly can. And of course, they do have the defensive stance, which gives them up to 90 armor, which can be quite difficult for the Ogre Balls to deal with. Cannons still firing in the middle, so they are going to be shooting up against the Iron Blaster. Really whittling down on models. The Lead Belchers are at 4 here and 5. So originally starting at 16, that's going to be 32 models down to 9. So very good work indeed. The Iron Blaster perhaps getting a bit of healing. No, we're going to get Missile Mirror. Fantastic. I did do a video here on this spell. It's very, very strong indeed. So if this model doesn't move, it is going to shoot itself. I really want to see. No, it's going to break, so the Missile Mirror isn't going to be used. Very interesting. Unit of Gorges in the back. We need to get those bad boys forward and helping fighting on the front line. But they are going to suffer here to the presence of the Jade Warrior Halberds. Now, they're going to be stacked on top of each other, and that is a bit of a mistake. You're going to see double buck for your bang there, which could be a little bit of a problem. But Scrag is going to use Troll Guts on himself, keep the healing going, and the Lord of Yin is going to keep the pressure here. But no, it looks like he's going to get away. So we definitely want to get some more in here. Need to get these Ironhelm Gunners forward. We could use the ridge as a bit of protection, but they're going to spray and pray here into the back. The shotgun's going to do some lovely damage into the back of these Ogre Balls. So I need to get these Jade Warriors off the field if we can. Hopefully try and see if we can recycle them, allow them to regen a little bit faster and get some of our supplies back. The double Peasant Long Spear is going to charge forward. Hopefully have enough capture weight here to get in the middle. The Ogre Balls do have Massacre, which actually causes terror, gives an increased base weapon damage and armor piercing. So Scrag the Slaughterer is going to be coming close to his healing cap, but he does need some Gorges in the middle. If you want to get some good utilization out of him, you need to get that Cauldron heal in the Gorges and get maximal value. Lead Belchers are going to be shooting, trying to get what value they can. They're going to be up to 120 kills and 56. Done some great work so far, and we are going to be having their double Iron Blasters in the back. So point 3 eventually has been taken here. We do actually move on with the Hunter. He's going to be capturing that, but the ticket's still in the advantage. Although we do have a 2-to-1 capture, it is going to be in the advantage of Grand Cathay. Jade Warriors are going to charge forward. We do actually have Dismember, which looks super cool. Look at that. We are going to be holding back the Peasant Long Spearmen. I'm not really too sure that's what you should be investing that on, but that is going to hold them back. Negative 60% speed is quite nice indeed. In the middle, Scrag is going to get dragged down here by just mass chaff. Halberd, Spearman, you name it. They're going to be bringing him down. Extra ingredients, giving those power reserves, plus also the extra power recharge rate, which is, hopefully going to give him enough magic here to get maybe another Troll Guts and just get him healing again. He's only going to be on 2 leadership. It's not looking too good for him here so far. So domination point 2 now has been taken by Grand Cathay very nicely indeed. We are going to have the cannons in the back doing all the good work. Ogre balls were charging for, Gorges as well. And look at this, they're going to be ripping apart the back end side of the Iron Hell Gunners. So good rear charge, and these lovely ladies sadly have nowhere to go. They do only cost 500 gold, including armor piercing. Their melee stats are pitiful. 16 on 16. With a measly 24 weapon strength, is just not going to do it here against the Gorges. They busted the bread, and these ladies have been well and truly dealt with. In the back, we do have some Jade Warrior Halberds moving in with some Peasant Spears. Just throw the waves and waves of chaff here on top of the Gorges, and this is where you can see Grand Cathay really have an advantage in this matchup. Gorges, which is one of their most powerful units, Peasant Long Spearmen really get some good advantages with the anti-large, and they don't need much armor piercing. Iron Hell Gunners are going to be shooting in, and looks like also has some Jade Warrior shields, getting some of those good bolts forward to deal with the infantry. So Peasant Long Spears, Jade Warriors, and more Peasant Long Spears here on the point. Cannons are shooting in. Close range here up against the Peasant Long Spearmen. In the middle, we have the Hunter and Scrag, who's going to be healing here with Troll Guts. A broken unit of the Ogre Balls charging over to the right, but this is just waiting for the sneaky capture. Some secret agent ninja movement could really get on top of these domination points. In the sky, one shot does hit here. The Lord, that he is going to be getting the physical resistance, thanks to the scales of the Celestial Court. But if you use that, I really want to get it into combat, and then start fighting here up against Gorges, start taking down models and being a bit of a nuisance indeed. Nice movement here from Frozen. He's going to be getting the bag, compromising the Iron Blaster, but he puts himself in range up against the Gorges, and Gorges do excellently up against units such as the Jade Warriors. Now, yes, they are 500 gold, but they invest a lot into armor, and they don't have much armor piercing or too much DPS to give back. So the fact here that Gorges are going to take really no damage in return, and it's just going to be ultimate DPS output. So very, very good work there from the Ogre player. In the middle, Scrag is going to be at healing cap, 3,300 HP for him. He'll be moving around the battlefield, trying to see if he can clear up what he can here from all the cheap infantry. Longbow Riders, a nice healthy unit, has been summoned to the battlefield. That's going to be the double bronze chevron units. Now, perhaps this was one from earlier. But they're going to charge down here on the Hunter. Now, I don't really think the Hunter was too much of a threat. It wasn't particularly on a domination point, but I'd like to see it getting in the back, maybe finishing off the Iron Blasters, or maybe put some pressure here on the Lead Belchers. Just one unit of the Jade Warriors on the right, that is also there for the taking, but more Jade Warrior Halberds and Jade Warrior Crossbows are going to be moving forwards. So Gorges here just going to make a mincemeat of the Jade Warriors in the front line. They're going to get deleted in a matter of seconds. Now, of course, they don't need much armor piercing to punch back on the Gorges, but Gorges have pretty damn good stats. 123 weapon strength, that's going to be anti-infantry and armor piercing. Yeah, these boys certainly do the work indeed. Not too sure what bonus we get. Bonus of the infantry of 20. That is flipping huge. So they're just going to tear through this like it doesn't exist. So Peasant Long Spears, more Jade Warriors that are actually going to be getting shot close range here by the Iron Blaster. Just a little bit more mobility, maybe some cavalry. And unfortunately here, it looks like the Dragon-Blooded Lord of Yin, he's going to be getting shot. He's going to be a little bit too still here in the back. Keep him moving, maybe even desummon him at this point. You don't really want him to take that penalty to leadership here if he does fall in combat. So nice movement in the middle. The Gorges are going to push back the forces and perhaps start taking it here away from Grand Cathay. So it's going to be triple Gorges here in the front. That's going to be a lot to deal with. So we do see in the sky the Great Longbow Riders are going to recharge here up against Gorges, but they have the armor piercing to deal with these flying cavalry. Now they will get the 75 charge bonus, and they will do some great impact damage, but in sustained combat, it's pretty much where they're not designed. They're very good shot cavalry that can fly in, use that charge bonus and that melee attack to really get some good DPS, get out and then move to the next target. Sustained combat is, not their friend. Hunter in the middle, 5,000 actually at healing cap there for the HP, but he's going to be moving back into the middle, giving that terror and really helping in the front line. Not too much ATP here for the Jade Warrior line, so unfortunately here we could be losing the middle. I'd really like to see some more pressure on the flanks here from both sides. I think this is one thing where I think both sides like today. We are going to see some Jade Warriors coming to point 3, so nice awareness there, but I think, a couple of peasant horsemen that have Vanguard, could have got over and, allowed or at least forced the split in the force here from the Ogre Kingdoms. It's going to be a straight up fight in the middle of cannons, lead belchers, and the beautiful grand cannons. In the middle, Jade Warrior Crossbows are going to get shot down and are going to get dragged down here by the Gorges. more halberds and more peasant longspears are summoned to the battlefield. Gorges are going to be charging forward 2 units here. They're really going to put the pressure on. We need something here to deal with the hunters, maybe some iron hell gunners backed up by some jade warrior halberds. Could get in and do the good damage, certainly bring down these big monsters. We are going to be having 400 gold here in the supply tickets, and we are going to be getting good damage on the battlefield. Now here, of course, on the side of Grand Cathay, we're not going to be having too many tickets into the advantage, but point 2 has been taken here by the Ogre Kingdoms. We are going to be capturing point 3 as the Jade Warriors, but we are moving over to domination point 1. It's going to be 4,400 up against 3,300 here, so it's a pretty tight game. We are going to be charging on with the Ogre Wolves, and they could wreck the Jade Warriors. They have lost their Lord choice, so they are with negative 16 leadership. A good charge here. Could really thump quite nicely. Look at that! Fantastic work there from the big boys, because they's hungry. And they're going to get on top here and start slashing, dashing, smashing, and all the good things here that can really delete all these bad men in the middle. They're getting on the point. They are going to be capturing it away from Grand Cathay, as they are going to be a healthier unit on the point. Jade Warrior Halberds alongside Jade Warriors moving forward here to domination point 1. As long as we can keep 1 here going, we should be able to win as Grand Cathay. We are going to be capturing domination point 3. Very good secret agent ninja tactics here from the Jade Warriors. They've done very, very well indeed, and they are going to ensure that Grand Cathay do take the big dubski here today. So fantastic work there. But we can see Ogre Kingdoms really pushing in the back. They've done very well on the battlefield. They've certainly won the game today, but they haven't got on the domination points. And I see this quite a lot between new players, where unfortunately just one little secret agent ninja is going to capture for Grand Cathay, and that's going to be double bang for your buck here on the tickets points. And we're going to be probably about 15 seconds away here from the victory. So excellent work indeed. We are going to have the hunter in the front. Gorges doing some brilliant damage. They've well and truly wrecked the front line. They're going to be on the Grand Cannon, and they've done some excellent work. But well played to Frozen. That's certainly a tough matchup indeed. I do believe it does favour Grand Cathay even on the domination point of view, and certainly here I do believe it does favour them in land battles. But you know, very nice game indeed. Now we are going to see here for the Lord of Yin, 990 value. We did get the double ancestral summon as well. That physical resistance of 75% is really tough for the Ogre Kingdoms to deal with. Outside of magic damage spells, there isn't really anything that causes magic, so you really do rely there on Scrag to deal with those units. 1,750 here for the Great Longbow Riders with 908. Very good mobility. Really love these units for Grand Cathay, and I really do think they are a staple in the roster. If you don't bring these, you certainly do have to bring the big boys indeed. Then we are going to have 500 here for the Jade Warrior Crossbows, 280, 0 and 180 there for the Jade Warriors. For the reinforcements, we did have Celestial Dragon Crossbows. Didn't manage to use those today, but the cannon's getting 4,000 damage value. Very nice stuff indeed. And 1,750. 640, 150, 300 for the Jade Warrior Halberds, with 605 for the extra unit of the Jade Warrior Crossbows. 180 and 115 here for the Jade Warriors, with 1,700 for the Iron Hail Gunners and 840 for the second unit. 760, 540, 1,760 for the Peasant Longspearmen, which I think for bang for buck is definitely the best value you can get in the Grand Cathay roster. I think the infantry Peasant Longspearmen are incredibly powerful. I think they have charge reflect, I believe they have expert charge defense, they're going to be anti-large, they're uber cheap at 350 gold, and their capture weight is really impressive. I think it's one of the staple units in the roster alongside the Great Longbow Riders, and then obviously their big single entity monsters. So for the Ogre Kingdoms, 1,465 there for Scrag the Slaughterer. Nice performance from him with 1,600 for the Hunter, 207 kills for 3,100 damage value for the Hunter. Very good stuff. 320 kills for 1,570. Gorgeous, just incredibly powerful. 1,500, 600 here for the Iron Blasters with 670, 1,000 and 440 there for the Gorges. 1,050 and 640 for the Lead Belchers. 280, 530 and 800 from the Ogre Balls, with, unfortunately, we did see some Noblard Trappers, but nothing really too much, and then Noblars as well not coming in here. So I'd say here for the Ogre Kingdom player, whoever this may be, I think capturing that domination point 3 a little bit earlier would have been very advantageous for you. I think you missed out on about 200-300 tickets. Plus then also just keeping an eye there on the flanks. Just one unit of the Noblard Trappers would have done the job. Even though they're not going to beat the Jade Warriors, they'll keep them back. And if you keep them in the corner and you buy that time, I really think there you could have seen a flip in this battle. It wouldn't have just been a 300, 400 point flip. You would have also then had protected that and had the double catcher for much longer. I think you played really well in the middle and you held that quite nicely. But just here, well played today. And I really like Fozen and his battlefield knowledge and awareness. And he just recognised that domination point 3 is open. I'm just going to go capture it. Doesn't matter if I'm losing the main battle. As long as I have the domination points, I can win. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please smash that like button. It would really help here on the channel. Feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd love to know all your thoughts and opinions. And then, of course, do feel free to subscribe. It really, really does help here with the growth of the channel. Check out that description. I am going to be doing a stream tonight with the Rubber Duck of War. Him and I are going to be doing a Twitch stream, so do feel free to come check us out. There will be Warhammer and a bunch of other goodies, so do come have some fun. Check out that description with the Discord, so you can join and see all of the other awesome things I have going. Tournaments, leagues, all sorts of things that are going to be starting next week. And other than that, I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very, very soon.